highway. He the one that said not one jot nor one tittle in no wise should pass from the law in some previous chapters above that in Matthew's 5. He the one said that. Yes, absolutely. In Matthew's chapter 12, we're going to start reading at the first verse.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 1 through 8. At that time, the hypocrite went on the Sabbath day through the corn, and his disciples were hungry, and began to pluck ears of corn, and to eat. But when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto him, Behold, thy disciples do that which is not lawful to do upon the Sabbath day. But the hypocrite said unto them, Have ye not read what David did?
See, in other words, what did Christ didn't say that you would have thought he'd have said if he was so righteous? Yeah, that, and that's all he had to do. But you notice he didn't even fight for that. He didn't even say, wait a minute, I'm somebody here greater than Solomon, wiser than Solomon. He didn't say that. He did what the average Hebrew do, make an excuse. That's what he did. He made an excuse. He didn't even say he was wrong. He said, look, verse 2. But when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto him, Behold, thy disciples do that which is not lawful to do upon the Sabbath day. So what you gonna do about it, bro? And what did he do? Y'all stop that, because that's against the laws. Or he would have said, wait a minute, that ain't the law being broke. Oh no. He didn't say that. He said, have you not read what David did when he was hungry? Who David supposed to be to him? David's supposed to be his great holy father that he said he's the offspring of. Ain't that right? Yeah. But he said David was hungry and he did that too. How he entered into the house of Elohim and did eat the showbread, which was not lawful for him. So if he could do it, my disciples could do it. That's really what he's saying.
Number one, David can enter. David could enter because David was a priest king. David came from the line of Levi and the line of Ephraim. He could go into the temple. That's the lie that people keep leaving out. That's the information people keep leaving out. David could go into the temple. David wore the ephod. David taught in front of the congregation. Because he was a Melchizedek line priest king. And I taught y'all class about this already. Go to my YouTube, you will see it. David was a priest king. He was a Melchizedek king. He was not just King David. He was King David the priest. That's why he was able to go into there and eat the showbread. Because who ate the offerings? Who ate the offerings? The Levites. If you go in there, you will see that Aaron and Aaron's offspring was supposed to eat the offering. We were supposed to eat. It was only for his daughters and his sons to eat it. That is the Levite way. And that's what they're leaving out. They're hiding the fact that David was a Levite.
He said, neither for them which were with him, but only for the priests. Keep reading. Verse 5. What did he say?
Or have ye not read in the law how on the Sabbath days the priests in the temple profane the Sabbath and are blameless? That's not in the law. But I say unto you that in this place is one greater than the temple. The temple ain't nothing. But if you had known what this meaneth, I would have mercy and not sacrifice. You would have not blamed these perfect, guiltless disciples of mine. For the Son of Man is the master even of the Sabbath day.
No,
So
he's not.
That's where all the arrogance truly was exalted when he said he is the master of the Sabbath. But what did y'all say in the Ten Commandments? He said the Sabbath of Yahweh, Da Elohim. It's Yahweh's Sabbath. It's not, he could never be a master of the Sabbath day of the Most High. Only a fool would believe that. This day was set aside for us,
For
for
eternity.
him.
For eternity.
This is Yah's day, that all flesh, see in the end, what's going to happen when it comes to the Sabbath day.
We still gonna be doing it.
Go to Isaiah 66. That we're going to be judged. You're right. But in the end, so all I got to do is know I need to know the ending from the beginning, and I'll be ready. You know, what is the conclusion if I do not keep the commandments of the Sabbath day? What's the conclusion of the matter? I'm going to get lit.
BK.
Get burned.
You're gonna get BK'd.
You want
Brutally.
Straight to the verse.
Brutally.
Like you can go to verse 23 and 24.
Hallelujah. Isaiah chapter 66, verse 23 through 24. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith Yahweh. And they shall go and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me.
Ooh.
For their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be an abhorrent
This.
unto all flesh. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
In other words, the Almighty is letting us know from Isaiah 66, in the end, no matter what somebody said, you can't keep the Sabbath, you can't do this, you can't do that. What did Yah say? He said, from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall who? All flesh. What that mean? Everybody that's remaining in the world is going to worship before Yahweh, and they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that what? Didn't he say by reason of transgression? Huh? Ain't that what Yah said? In other words, when you transgress what Yah commands, you're heading for death. That's the truth. You're heading for death. To break the Sabbath day, you're heading for death. But what did the New Testament say? It didn't even say. He said he the master of the Sabbath. I can do, in other words, I can do what I want to do on this day. My disciples ain't done nothing wrong. That's what he really was saying. He didn't even take up for the Sabbath. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Let us go to Jeremiah 31. Let us go to the new covenant, the future covenant. Because guess what?
That's the law put in our heart.
Christians say? Christians say the New Testament is the what?
No,
That's
it's
the
not.
new covenant. It's the book itself says it. The New Testament is a new covenant.
No, it's not. The new covenant is Jeremiah 31. The law will be tattooed in our heart. And we will not be able to sin anymore. And once you are not able to sin, you will not die. Woo!
We're going to start at verse 31.
Hallelujah. Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 31. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break